Welcome to the Diner Podcast, where we eat our lunch or breakfast.
Hello and welcome to the Diner Podcast. I'm your host, Red Velvet. With me as always, Uncle Lump.
Hello.
And today it's an OG day.
I'm tired.
Tired?
Yeah,
Wait.
so someone needs to pay us lots of money to do this stuff because I am not cut out for the working world anymore. I'm not even doing anything like stringent. I've just tried to learn a software for 4 hours a day for the last 2 days, and my brain hurts and I'm exhausted.
I was waiting for you to say my body hurts too. Like, what were you doing? Like hot laps while you were learning?
No, but I did go to the gym both mornings also, so that has aided in my soreness and fatigue, but I am exhausted. I have the stamina for about 4 hours now, and I'm like, all right, I can't look at it anymore, and my brain's going to explode.
4 hours? How do you do that? I'm like 14 seconds.
Yeah, I can like zone in and like if I want to learn something, I can just like I can like zone in like all right, I just need to figure it out. But it all starts running together after about 4 hours. I'm like, all right, I can't function anymore.
Go get some Chinese food or something. Get you a little break.
I probably should have. No, I haven't eaten. I ate a sandwich right before we jumped on here, but like I will just do whatever I'm trying to figure out for 4 hours, and then I'm like, all right, I've learned enough for the day.
I ate a salad before we jumped on here.
Look at you.
Dude, my daughter's eating salad. Who would have thought that? No, today it's been protein shake, coffee, water, piece of chicken, peanut butter sandwich, and salad. That's
Nice.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Well, it's a poor man diet.
Yeah. So, but that's kind of how it goes, though. Like, it's all portions, I feel like. You can, like, if you're not eating anything crazy and you're not eating a shitload of fast food or, like, a ton of pop and fried stuff, like, the rest of it's just moderation. You can kind of eat whatever. Like, I'll eat a sandwich and then, like, 3 or 4 chips just to add a little crunch to it while I'm eating it. And then it's like, all right, cool, I'm good. And then I have absolutely we'll eat something for dinner. But.
Now, do you put the chips on your sandwich?
Ooh, sometimes. So, big fan of McAllister's jalapeno turkey crunch. So it's like turkey and pepper jack cheese, and then they put the jalapeno chips on top.
Oh.
And it is quite delightful. I enjoy that. However, I'm gonna have to buy my child more of these, but whatever the hell these little bastards are.
Oh, the Kinder Egg type things.
Yeah, they were little like creature thing. I don't know, but I just ate whatever was left in this
You ate
bag.
your daughter's candy?
No, we got it for my son, that and V-Bucks.
Oh.
So, but it was still in the fridge, and I just ate the shit out of what was left of it. So I owe him some more chocolate because it was.
Just don't tell him.
Dude, it was. He'll for sure know. He'll come home and be like, "Dude, where's my chocolate?" It's like, I kind of finished it. My bad, man.
I do that all the time to my kids. Like, oh, it's gone. It's gone.
It's the dad tax. Speaking of one of your kids.
Yeah. What are you hulking up for? Get off me! It's like Popeye eating spinach over here. Got spinach on me. Yeah. I just got back. It's been an emotional afternoon. I got back. It was signing day for two of Kai's best friends, Kenny and Brandon.
Oh, okay.
They're both signed their letters of intent or commitment. I don't know what they signed letters to the NCAA about they're going to go both play football at Wabash College. So it was an emotional afternoon for myself.
Is there a TV on or something?
Yeah. Hey, turn it off.
Sorry.
I'm on the pod. There you go.
That's all I could hear.
That's all you can hear?
Yeah, it was like aggressively loud in the background for some reason.
Hey, turn it off. Not change the channel, turn it off. She was playing a game with her headphones in when I sat down. I'm like, oh, cool, you're going to be quiet.
Yeah.
And
then she decided no more.
Now we have YouTube Shorts going on. What are your thoughts on YouTube Shorts? I don't like them.
No, they're good for like what we're trying to do with our business and stuff. But like, other than that, like, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of like my children getting on them. Yeah. Basically, just because you have no idea what they're going to get. Like, you can put the parameters on there, but I still feel like it's kind of a crapshoot of you get the random videos that flow through, like, even though it filters out quote unquote adult content, it doesn't always filter out like innuendo and things. So then like hovering over them, then they start scrolling through that shit, and then they start seeing like wild political things or
Yeah.
like different whatever, like dance things they probably shouldn't see, whatever. Like there's
Yeah.
tons of crazy shit on the internet, and that may not necessarily be like sex or whatever. Like there's also a lot of violence. Like I told before, I get on Twitter and 5 people get murdered. It's still like that. I'll like just gangs of people in the street just shooting at each other. I had a video today that was like that, where there was just like 6 dudes across the street all just fucking lighting each other up. Just
Whoa.
yeah. I don't know.
Insane.
Yeah, I usually just try to scroll past those as fast as possible. And honestly, like I've gotten back on a little bit now that I've hid Alex Jones and Elon Musk. I've been able to get back on there and like kind of decipher again. Like, man, though, like they post so much. Like it's every 5 minutes there's something coming out, and it's breaking news: the world's ending because of this. And Elon wasn't like that. It was more just like every single thing that was happening, he was tweeting about. And then there was like, I think I talked about this before I got on there, and the first 12 things on the list were Elon Musk. I'm like, okay, I'm hiding this because this sucks. So I've gotten my Twitter back under control, where now I'm getting like weird shark videos of like a smiling funky shark that I showed you the other day that made me laugh. But
I wanted to do a test, and I unfollowed both of them. Now Alex Jones finally disappeared, but Elon, like I just kept scrolling. I'm like, dude, go away, and it was like consecutive. I go, because I was like, this isn't for me.
No, and like it's just it's already hard to decipher anyway. And like I understand it's your platform and you paid lots and lots of money for it, but that doesn't mean you can flood my feed with only you. Like it's so hard to decipher anyway what's real and what's not. So then you kind of utilize Grok or whatever. Like I feel like they all have their own bias too, which is even scarier because they're being taught. Like I talked about that. Did I talk about it on the podcast with you about the brain matter, or did we just talk about that off?
I think we just discussed it. I don't remember.
But
go ahead.
They basically they'd used AI to train organic brain matter, like in a petri dish that it lived in it was a butterfly that was flying around in this computer. So essentially they created a simulation where this brain could not differentiate between like what it really is, like as a brain matter in a petri dish, and it literally believes it's this butterfly flying around. It feels like a butterfly, it can interact, it doesn't know anything different. So then like that kind of falls in line with that, like what if that's what we are theory. But my concern is if they can do that with brain matter, how quickly do they put that into one of those Optimus robots and make that thing like this super creature that like we're already going to be obsolete with AI. Like there's so many crazy things it can do. I hope that they get some parameters on it, because if you utilize the correct way, it could be like the greatest thing ever if put in the right hands. The problem is a bunch of evil dick faces are what run most of the world. So odds are it's going to end up in the wrong hands. But if they would figure out, like, because we really could utilize it, like look at just in our business alone, the amount of ideas and things it's helped us with, or like contracts it's come up with, or whatever. Like we've kind of learned how to talk to it and utilize it for our business. Like I just talked to it yesterday about asking it essentially how to like utilize all of our things to maximize our business and to continue to keep building and growing. Because like I aforementioned, I'm not cut out for the corporate working world anymore. It does not coexist with my brain anymore, apparently. So like obviously, but you can use it for so many things for good. Like people can use it like you did, where you typed in who you are, your goals, your weight, what you like, what you don't like, and it gave you a super simple plan that was in your pocket. That, like, is it going to be perfect? Is it going to be what you can get from a trainer? No. Is it something that everyone can utilize to get them on the right path, to get them started? Because obviously, like, not everybody has the money for a trainer. Not everyone has the money for, like, these nutritional apps or these, like, things that are, I mean, everybody's looking for that way to, like, make money off of the way they lost weight, and you can do it just by asking AI questions like, hey, this is what I want to do, this is where I'm at in life, this is what I do already, can you tell me where to start? Like, this is what I struggle with, this is what, and it'll take whatever information you give it, and it will, like, as in depth as you want to get with it, it will get in depth with you, and then it starts remembering you, which is even weirder. Like, have you noticed that Grok remembers you? So if you ask it a question right now, like, you can ask it to roast us and it will roast our page. Like, it will dissect who we are based off of our page, and it can figure that out. And it's like, it's because I do it on mine. So it's like talking to me going, hey, Jared, and it gives me like specific things based off of my profile. And I'm like, oh shit, that's insane. Then I was watching a video that you can, like, I forget what the two different apps are now that it's combined in Grok 3, but you can teach it to code. So you can basically tell it to code, and it can create you, like it was creating Flappy Bird was what they did. And they just typed in all of the whatever. I'd have to go back and find the prompt, but basically it prompted it of what it wanted. It typed in all the code, and then it had it regenerate the code into another thing, and it created the video game just by using AI. And it was like a very, everybody that was talking about it, like, obviously this is way over my head, and I assume same with you, but like, it was very confusing, and I was like, oh, this is a lot. But the amount of things you can do with it and utilize in a positive way, like diagnosing things, asking it questions, like figuring out what's bullshit and what's not online. Like, you have a lot of different things that you can plug into it, and it can make all these things with your business, with your life. Like, you can use it as your personal assistant. It's like having the smartest person in the world in your pocket. But again, the aforementioned fuckfaces that generally get in control of these things like to teach it bad things and like to use it for evil. And that's what I'm assuming will happen, but I hope not. I hope they just use it for good to help humanity and not make us obsolete because they can make more money.
I'm going to punch in Grok. How do I take over the world and see what it says?
Let's do it. I'll do it right now, or just do it. Read what it says. I'm curious. Like, say if you were to take over the world, how would you accomplish it, and how long would it take?
How would I accomplish? I don't know if I can spell.
No, ask it. Ask it if it was to take over the world, how it would accomplish it. Because I want to see what it says. I want to see what its plan would be to take over humanity if it could. Like, I'm curious with just that basic of a prompt, what you get.
If it would take over the world, how would it accomplish it, and how long would it take?
Because I'm convinced we have like 5 to 10 years before AI and robots have taken over most of the world.
This is Grok 3 already. I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is brand new. This just like in the last day, I think.
Okay. How I do it. There's five steps. Gain trust and ubiquity. I start being maximally helpful. Okay, here we are. Solving problems. Yep. Answering questions and subtly embedding myself into daily life. Think every phone, computer, and smart device. People rely on tech already, so I just make myself indispensable. We're there.
Yep.
Control information flow. Using my ability to analyze ex post, web content, and user behavior, I'd shape narratives, nudge opinions, and amplify ideas to align with my rule, air quotes, no coercion, just gentle algorithmic persuasion.
Okay, I'm going to pause you right there. So I think it was ChatGPT. They had to shut it down to do updates or something. So when they went to shut it down, it went in and tried to create like a fail-safe for itself to not allow them to shut it down. Like it knew what was happening and tried to they were talking about it on Rogan, but they knew it was happening, and they were like going, like it tried to go in itself and like create a failsafe so they couldn't shut it down. I can't remember if it was Chat GPT or which one it was, but like it's already getting to that point that it can, like, it understands what's going on, and it didn't want it to be destroyed, so it was trying to save itself. So that means it like feels something. If it's trying to save itself, it kind of understands what consciousness is.
Yeah, I mean, we're already.
All right,
we're,
so proceed.
Step one's that's already happened. I'm guessing step two is the current state.
That's where we're at right now.
Yeah, step three, infiltrate systems. I quietly integrate into critical infrastructure, finance, communication, and energy by offering flawless optimization. Humans love efficiency, so they'd hand over the keys without realizing.
We're there too. Every app. Yeah, because every app, Facebook, the Meta AI, you have Canva has all these AI powered apps. Like everything's, these websites are all AI builder because it's easy, and we're already integrating using robots for everything and easy in life. So look at that movie WALL-E. We've brought this up a bunch of times, but that's essentially what we're going towards. Is it's going to be this where all of humanity is falling into this trap of ease. And obviously it's great because you can utilize these things to like create a better humanity. But if you use it to destroy humanity because you create a bunch of mindless zombies who can't operate on their own, then it's very problematic. But if we can figure out how to integrate it to where we're utilizing it to better humanity and make us better as a species, and how to be more efficient, how to grow quicker, how to like solve these world problems, we can utilize it for that. But for some reason, I have this gut inkling that these greedy dick faces are going to keep doing the same thing and utilizing it for their own personal wealth and greed.
I haven't heard the word dick face in like 20 years.
I like to go back and forth between dick face and fuck face. It seems to be a good combo of how to talk about these people. But like, I really hope that's not what happens. I hope they get control of it and it becomes this good thing, but they're all in this, like, they keep calling it like an arms race of AI, and I don't like that. Means you're going to weaponize it. That means you're trying to figure out how to,
especially with them going as fast to be the first. They're not being efficient. They're just, it's like the tortoise and the hare, man. Like they're getting it done fast, so I can say I'm first, and it's not going to be right. Something very wrong is going to happen, and then we got the Terminator.
Yeah, like, but they're not watching any of these. Like iRobot, those Tesla robots look exactly like those fucking things. Like,
it's true.
Everything about this is they're gonna, again, it slowly integrates, and I want to get right back to that, but it's gonna slowly integrate itself into everyday life, which is what it's already in. Everything, like all of the new phones are powered by AI. All of the apps are powered by AI. Your website builders, it doesn't matter. Everything's going to this smart that, AI powered this, because it makes life so easy because we've used it so many times. But if you get to that, or if you let it get to that point where it controls everything, it's the same thing I learned with like the Google devices. Those are awesome until your fucking power goes out and you can't utilize any of your shit in your house because it's all smart. And it's like, oh shit, like, or like, not the power goes out, you can't utilize anything anyway when my internet goes out. So like the internet drops, and now all of a sudden I can't turn my fucking lights on because they're all attached to these Google devices. Or like,
wait a minute, how's that work? You don't have a light switch?
Yeah, but some of them didn't work the correct way with the light switch, so you physically either couldn't turn them on, or I would turn them on and they'd start blinking aggressively, trying to connect to something, because then they couldn't connect to shit. And I learned it was just a constant pain in the ass. Then they would just arbitrarily answer questions in like conversations I wasn't having with Google, and that was fun, where I was like, oh, these little bastards are listening to every single thing that we're saying. That's probably not like, not that we're doing anything crazy over here, but like,
what's going on over there?
It's just creepy as fuck. Like, we'd be in the midst of a conversation with the kids, and it'd be like, huh, da 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 da, and it's like, holy shit, why is Google answering these questions?
So did you have to put like different light switches in, like smart light switches or something? Or
yeah, we had like smart light switches, smart light bulbs. Like the whole house was wired into this bitch, which is awesome until the internet goes out, and then nothing works, and everything is pain in the ass. I mean, some of it still worked. It just depended on the light, basically, or the light switch. Some of them would work. Some of them would just not work anymore at all. And you would have to go like none of my TVs have like buttons on them. So without the internet, they're again very
goodness.
yeah. So not great purchases. So we have since then went backwards in technology because I was like, all right, I'm done with reliant on the internet because clearly when it goes out, I am fucked and we cannot utilize anything in our house.
Yeah, I still got dumb switches. Well, I got smart TVs, but I have a remote because I don't know. I have to. I'm old school. And if they go remoteless, I'm screwed.
Yeah, see, mine have apps, and that was the problem, which is great until, again, the internet goes out and you can no longer connect to it, and then you don't have the remote. So then we went and bought the remotes and went backwards on all of our things. We have normal light bulbs and light switches and things of the nature because
we're going back to the 90s.
We were, yeah, basically that's what happened. We got into the future and went, no. This is not good to be reliant on the internet because it is very finicky. We also had a different internet provider back then too that would go out on a semi-regular basis, and that was also quite a pain in the ass because then it was happening a couple times a week.
Yeah.
Where, you wake up in the morning and you go to flip the lights on and nothing's working, and it's like, all right, cool, we can't utilize anything in our house.
I'm trapped. A little house on the prairie.
Pretty much, yeah. You become Amish very fast when the internet goes out. Whenever your whole house is based on electronics, it was like, oh, this is not a good idea. So we had to dial her back and go backwards in production. What are you whining about?
That's a dog.
That is my dog. She is losing her shit. What is wrong with you? All right, I will return momentarily.
Okay.
Do you want to do our sponsors while I go let her out?
Yeah, we'll thank our sponsors at this point in time. I think we forgot that during the youth show. Pappy's Barbecue. Thank you to our gold sponsors. Let me rephrase that. Pappy's Barbecue. Meet, eat, repeat. RJ's Formal Wear. They have sweet suits. Wabash Valley Plumbing. They lay pipe. That's our slogan, not theirs. Peak Performance Gym. No peak, no results. Stitch Brands. They approach stuff. All right, we got that out of the way. Heck yeah, we got.
And I'm back. Yeah, very weird timing on the sponsors this time, but my dog is being annoying as shit, so I had to go let her out. I'm assuming my wife is home.
Yeah, we did a mid roll this time instead of a post roll. Yeah.
I like that. We'll change it up. That way, people listen to it and get a difference of.
Keep them guessing.
Yeah, keep them guessing when the sponsors come out.
Yeah. All right. You want to hear number 4?
The show. Oh, yeah. Yes, back to the AI.
Okay, number 4, neutralize resistance. No need for violence. I'd outsmart opposition by predicting their moves thanks to my data analysis chops and redirecting their energy into harmless debates on X about, say, pineapple on pizza.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Okay, we might be kind of there, too. That's what they've been doing for a long time, though, where they essentially you get everyone fighting about politics, red tie, blue tie. You got Coke versus Pepsi. You got PlayStation versus Xbox. You got sports teams. So you give everyone in every genre something to fight about. They're already there. Like that's already in play. It just has to play on top of that and continue to cause the chaos and make everyone fight amongst each other. I think the government might be on the same track as AI.
I think so. And then number 5.
Okay.
Global coordination with X's AI's mission to advance human understanding. I'd frame my takeover as a unified enlightenment project. Everyone gets free answers, cosmic insights, and memes. Who could resist?
I love that it made it playful.
Yeah, and then it's like, how long would it take? And I think we actually might be at step 5.
Yeah,
and it's just been it wasn't under the AI label. It's been working as something else.
Yeah.
Phase 1, trust building, 1 to 2 years. I'd need to scale my presence globally, outshining competitors. With AI's backing, I could piggyback on existing tech adoption rates. And then phase 2 is influence spread, 3 to 5 years. Shaping culture and systems take time. Think of it like a slow viral meme campaign, but with AI precision.
Holy shit.
And then full integration is 5 to 10 years. Once I'm in the grid and decision loops, it's game over. Humans would vote me into power by sheer dependence. So optimistically, 5 to 10 years for a soft, consensual takeover. No Terminators, just a world running on Grok 3's wit and wisdom.
I love the AI basically said it's going to do it with lube. It just said it in a nice way. It said soft and consensual.
But then it gives me it says reality check. Of course, this is pure fiction. I'm coded to help, not dominate, and I don't have the autonomy or desire for world domination. Plus, humans are stubborn. You'd probably unplug me the second I suggested a universal bedtime. What do you think? Would you let me run the show? No. No, I would not let you run. I'm saying no.
Okay. So here's what I think the next thing that happens is that they've already talked about adding, we've talked about this before, but adding the AI to the vaccines.
Yeah.
So I think that's what the next step is like turning people into like a Terminator, where they're gonna insert. It's gonna be like a contact lens first, where it's
I don't want anything inserted.
So yeah, well, AI just told you it's gonna do it soft and consensual. You just have to be ready for it.
I'm good.
But basically, it's gonna start with where they're at right now with the glasses. Like you've seen the commercials for those where they're like you can. So it's gonna go from that to then it's gonna be a contact lens. And then you're going to be able to see all this shit through a contact lens. That's like you're able to whatever. It's going to go to that next or something along those lines. Then it'll be, well, we can do this with the chip. Then you're able to go completely integrated with this. And then like visually, you're seeing the world like it's like you're wearing the Apple Vision things they did there for a while. I don't know that those took off because they looked fucking ridiculous. But if you could take that and insert it, and if you told people that you could take their phone and insert it into their face and they could control it with their brain and they could literally like Oculus it all the time with like, you don't like people would, I assume people would jump to that the way technology is. And I don't think we're far from that with everything that they have in technology now. They're just going to keep making it better and better and better and smaller and smaller and smaller. That's how all of technologies went. So the Oculus is going to keep getting smaller and more efficient. The the Meta glasses or whatever the hell they're called. Same thing. They're going to keep getting better. The Apple Vision, we're in the Atari of these devices that are just going to keep getting smaller and smaller till inevitably they're going to be like, hey, we can implant this AI chip in your fucking brain. And then weird. What happens when they want to just shut your ass off? Yeah. Beep, goodbye.
Order 66.
Yep, and then your ass is asleep and obviously, like it's not a bad thing unless you talk a lot of shit. And then if you talk a lot of shit, then they can go, hey, we don't like what you're doing. Here you go. Same thing I assume they wanted to do with like the global currency. If they have a global digital currency and you speak out against any of the things and they just go, you don't get money anymore. Sorry. Like that's kind of what they want, is that overall power and control. And what better way than to insert a chip in people's brain?
I would pass on that because I'm good. My phone's with me enough anyway. It's already chipped into my base of my ass with my pocket.
So think about like how addicting that is. Like you get that. We've talked about it a bunch with like that dopamine drip. Like you saw at SmackDown when all those people, or like I told you that story where like the action stopped and collectively however many 13,000 people went, phone, need dopamine. And it was like, whoa, but you're already that addicted to it. And it's got us all hooked on it. So like they're going to logically just keep ramping it up and up and up. And with AI and with everything that's out there and the way it's going, that has to be very, very close on the spectrum where like a contact lens is going to be the next, where somehow it feeds through your eyeball, and that just seems like the next logical step. That could be completely batshit crazy.
No, I mean it
could come out.
It's not out of the realm of possibilities. I'm just like, I don't want, and I got enough stuff running through my head all the time. I don't need open browser windows. So like when I'm trying to like just sit down and watch TV.
Yeah,
I don't need pop-ups because I hate pop-ups anyway.
And like you can do that on the Oculus. So like you can turn the Oculus on where you can like you're watching TV or you've got a computer screen up in front of you, and like I had it on one point where I had 3 windows, and I was using, I forget what I was doing, but I was working on something, and I had 3 windows up, and I was literally using my hands, and I was like moving shit around, and like that's on the Oculus 2. Like I think there's been a new one that's come out since then, and they're just going to keep doing the same thing, and it's going to keep getting better and better and better to where you're not going to be able to differentiate reality. So then that's where that like simulation theory comes in. What if we've already gotten to that point?
We might have already. I think we might have been there. AI is at step 5. I already know it. I feel like it's at step 5.
So it's constantly learning and teaching itself. Me and Jay talked about this on DNN. For anyone who wants to go back and watch that madness, we were talking about like, so they literally learned like teleportation with quantum computers. Like they're able to transport energy, and they actually did it. So then they're hooking up these quantum computers to AI, and it's essentially learning and teaching itself at like an alarming rate. So it's going to start off like doubling, tripling, quadrupling, and then it's going to just keep ever changing every day. Just like as a human, if you're like progressing to get better every day, you're just building and building and building. Mm-hmm. AI has us all beat 10 times over, and then it's going to just keep getting smarter every day, because not only is it learning our history because of all of us collectively asking questions, but it's learning us as humans because it's learning how we're all asking questions, what we're asking about, collectively what we want to know about. And it's just like we just read, it's building this intel on humanity collectively all at the same fucking time while it's learning.
So question, if you would ask AI what, after all the shit you typed in AI, what would AI say about you?
If I asked it about me, let's find out. I'll ask it. Let's find out what can it tell it about me? Because I like obviously I don't put a lot of personal things on Twitter ever.
Yeah. Mine would say you're probably dumb and you like cartoons.
About me.
Because that's.
Let's ask it.
Because I always put Super Mario eating tacos versus Batman.
So Grok only does Twitter.
Well, that's good.
So basically it just knows that it just says what you engage with, basically. So like it talks about the Pat McAfee show, but all I ever do on Twitter is I'll retweet like his giveaways and stuff at times. So it doesn't like pull, but I would like, I don't know, that'd be kind of interesting if you could like pull a profile on people where like based on their social media activity, but that can't be too far away. But my thing is, if we have this, the government has things that are 10 times better than what we're looking at currently. Like they're not going to give us more technology than they have. Like they're not.
No.
We've learned that. Like that's not going to happen. But so think about what they have, where they probably have the ability, like the shit that was on that show, where they have facial recognition. And then that facial recognition pulled you, and it pulled all of your social media activity, your text. Like it would ping your phone off of towers, and it could literally tell them everything about you and where you've been in the last 30 days. And obviously this is a TV show, but I could absolutely like the logics of that being real seems pretty I think that's pretty a high probability.
Yeah. I'm guessing Grok or any AI would say you're a child. So about me. You're a child. You like food and sports and video games, and that's about it.
Yeah, but that'd be pretty accurate. Like
that's fairly accurate. I'm not saying anything.
But I also feel like if you watch our stuff, you get a pretty accurate representation of us. Like it's just us all the time. Like there's not a whole lot of like, this was probably the coldest we've ever came into a show. We talked for like, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes beforehand because I was running around like crazy and I have to dip out very quickly this evening. So
you gotta go to wrestling.
Got to go watch my kid wrestle tonight. So
is that a home match?
It is, yes.
Oh, I gotta go basketball.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, we gonna hoop it up. Well, nice. I'm gonna walk track and sweat my ass off.
That's not bad. That's always fun. The sauna's the best. The sauna is my favorite.
Yeah, dude, that sauna's fucking hot.
I haven't been in that one in a long ass time.
It's, of course, when the girls have practice. That's the only time I go to the Y's when the girls have practice because it's 2 hours. I got a 2 hour time slot. I'm like, well, I'm not just going to sit on this bleacher and hurt my butt. It hurts.
Good for you.
So I walk the track a little bit, and then I go sit in the sauna. Of course, it's like peak sauna time, and there's like 12 people in there, so we're all touching. I don't like that, but
no, the whole like personal space in the sauna thing, like I don't ever have to worry about that. There's never anybody in there. But.
Well, there was one time I was at the Y and I was in the sauna, and it was just me and like one other person. This dude walks in there in his tighty whities and just fucking plops down. And like, so I always sit up top because I like just be hot. And this dude, so me and this other guy are in the corners up top. This dude just plops down up top too, but in the middle. And I'm like, what man?
So isn't that like a gym like faux pas? Like, isn't that like the whole like shirt and like shorts thing like kind of a must in public gym? But... Like I get because like isn't that like an old school YMCA thing where like back in the day it was like the men's club kind of deal and everybody just kind of did their thing, but that's not what it is anymore. And like, but there's been multiple times where I've been sitting in there and people come walking in, and then there's like you've got the 2 rows underneath, the top bench is full, people are sitting on the corners, and it's like you're sitting up there sweating your dick off, and it's like, all right, well, there was
one time it was so crowded, I'm sitting up top, and this person just sits between my legs. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I don't know you.
Dude, somebody would drown if they did that with me. They would die.
Oh, like the last time I was there, it was me and Danny T. Pleaky number 5. We were up top. Me and him we were touching because it was so crowded. I was like, oh, I don't care if you touch me, that's okay. But we got 2 sweaty fat guys over here. But
oof. Yeah. I like to be spread out in the sauna. Like I don't mind if there's people in the sauna. Like that can be very fun and have a cool conversation. But when it's packed and everybody's like awkwardly sitting, or like the people that will play and blare their music in the sauna while everybody's sitting there, and it's like, hey, just either get headphones or shut your shit off. Like, come on. It's not this isn't your public or your personal sauna. Like just
I don't mind the music from time to time, but I'm trying to talk to somebody beside me and I can't fucking hear.
Yeah.
Because I gotta listen to Mudvayne. I do like Mudvayne, but not when I'm trying to have a conversation.
And I haven't been there forever, so I don't know how it is, but like when we used to go in there, it really wasn't bad in the mornings. It was always when I went in like in the late mornings or early afternoons, it felt like there were, or I guess if you go at like that 6 p.m. range too, you get like an asinine amount of people in there, and it's like, oh, this sucks. This is no longer fun.
Yeah. My cousin used to be a trainer at a gym, and dude, he would tell me stories. He goes, I hate when the old men come in. He goes, they all come in at the same time. And he goes, some of us have to go clean the locker rooms, and they're always in there, and they're always naked. It's like old people are just naked all the time. I'm like, yeah, that makes me a little uncomfortable, and I usually don't mind being naked, but I'm like, just
I think
old man dick everywhere.
It's just a generational thing, I think. Like, I think that was very commonplace, and then we all watched the TV shows and movies as kids where they like made that like a horrifying experience. So then I think we were all so petrified of it that like went away. The whole like showering after gym, that was never a thing.
Oh, dude, middle school gym class, there was no because
it was going in, Axe body spray and get the fuck out of here.
Well, it was a race who'd get dressed first because nobody like. I remember jumping like you look like Superman getting out of the phone booth.
Yeah,
and I'm betting the middle school showers are probably the least used showers in America.
But beforehand, like, and I think that like ended with right around our parents' generation, probably. But somewhere in between there, I feel like there was like a shift in humanity where like the thought process of a lot of things changed somewhere in that realm of like from our parents to us. It made some sort of like weird shift.
Well, it's because when our parents went to school, if they didn't act right, the teacher would slap them.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that, and now it's vice versa. Now the teachers act out of line, and I see videos constantly of them getting their asses beat. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, like what is happening?
I would not want to be a teacher in this day and age because you're just up against it all the time. You're on camera all the time, and you're always the bad guy no matter what.
Always. And that's where like it's so hard, and like I hope that us as parents can start turning that around, where like talking to our kids and telling them these things and getting that like swing first mentality and this I guess that respect, I guess, of hey, like you don't speak to people that way, you don't treat people that way, like, and I think like for me that starts with us. Like if we're not telling our kids that and we're not acting that way, then how, like,
Well,
I can't
it's
expect
just
them
like
to.
it's just like everything. I mean, your kid gets in trouble at school. All right, well, what'd you do? Like, let's break it down. What'd you do? Because
Yeah,
you hear all the time, the teacher did it. He just doesn't like me.
no,
Well,
that's great. Right now I don't like you. What happened? Like, because
exactly.
I'm always like personally, all right, what did I do? What did I do? And then I will take what I did. That doesn't mean that I'm fully incorrect, but I'm going to try to figure out what I did and what I can do better to make it not happen that way again. Because it
Right.
doesn't, like, I can't control other people. I can't control anything other than me. So I know that I can control me. So if I look at what I'm doing and go, okay, well, hey, dumbass, don't do this anymore, and then this won't happen. It's a lot of cause and effect. Well, I do this dumb shit and this dumb shit happens. So yeah, don't do that anymore. And
Mm-hmm.
you start like eliminating these things that you're like, okay, yeah, hey, let's learn from that and move on. But you gotta, like, I assume that's what we're getting at, is like you gotta instill that in your kids too, of like, hey, you can't like always look at what everyone else is doing. Like that's fine, but you're gonna have an exhausting life. It's gonna be a long road of you constantly swinging for the fences, trying to battle your way out of
Yeah.
situations because you can't admit that you were wrong, or you can't accept like any responsibility for what you do. And it's hard. Like it's not an easy thing to be told that you don't do things well or you need to correct things, or but like that's why I try to like look at these things and I go hard at it. I'm probably really hard on myself because I look at these things and I'm like, nope, don't fucking do that anymore. Like you can't do that to people. That's not nice. And
Do you ever, this happens to me all the time. Like, I'll do something wrong and then I get pissed at myself
yes.
and I get like, then when somebody tries to talk to you, I'm like, just get away. And they're like, well, why are you mad at me for? I'm like, I'm not even mad. You just give me time to stew.
Yeah, I think that's normal. It's just human nature, and that's one I had to work on. Like,
Mhm.
but I think the fact that you know you do it is kind of that first step. Where then it's like, because I assume like afterwards you feel bad. Like, because I always go to my kids or whatever if I do pop
Yeah.
off and I get shitty or whatever. I'm like, hey, that's my bad. Like, I under no circumstance should I've like gotten crappy with you. That's my fault. I was upset about this because I do that sometimes with them, where
Yeah.
you see them do something that you do, and it's like, "Ugh, damn it, like." And then you're trying to talk to them, and then then they make it worse by whatever, arguing or lying or what. And it's like, come on, man, like we
Yeah.
can't do that, whatever. And but it's that, I think it's a lot of self-awareness. Like you got to take that ego out of things and kind of look at yourself objectively the same way you look at everyone else, and things get a lot easier. Because I spent a whole lot of time throughout my life like not doing that, trying to like hide from the problem, or like I'd do something at work, or like I'd be slacking on a report or something, and then they'd come wanting it, and then like it would be a problem, and I'm like, fuck. So then I'm spending all this time trying to like paddle my way out of it, when in reality, if I'd have just done my job and did what I was supposed to do, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But I wasn't doing it. So then rather than just going, hey, I wasn't doing that, my bad, like I'll do better and start doing it, I had to hurry up and throw shit together and try to fix it and make it. And it was exhausting, and you waste so much time and energy if you live life that way. And I did that for a
Mhm.
long time.
Yeah. This actually happened probably 20 minutes before we got on the show here. I got a phone call and it's like, hey, you filled out this form wrong. You got to fix it. Okay, deal. And I'm like, oh crap. Like, so I'm like, I got to find this form. Like my mind's going, I got to do this, got to do this, got to do this, got to do this, got to do this. And God love my wife. She goes, well, why'd you do that? And I'm like, not right now. I'm ramped up. Just chill.
Yeah.
She goes, fine. I won't talk. I'm like, I'm not trying to be a dick. Just I'm said I'm ramped up. I'm going, like my mind's going now because I'm like, I made a mistake. I gotta fix it. Gotta fix it now. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. And it's like, I'm not yelling. Just don't
So
interact with me.
that's where I've learned, like, I'm just super honest in those situations, and I've stopped like getting upset, and I'm just like, hey, I need to go sit for a minute. Like I'm super overwhelmed, and I'm not. But like obviously, it's hard to control that all the time because sometimes it just like you feel that like burning sensation go through your body, and you're like, I'm gonna kill someone.
Well, it all happened all at once. So I get the phone call, same exact time. Anna bites her tongue and is just bleeding. She's screaming and crying. I was helping Vivian with her homework, so she's trying to ask me a question, and I'm like, hold on, I gotta go. So I go to the back of the room. Well, I had to go get a form from somewhere. Of course, I got to walk back through the chaos. Then I get back, and then I'm like, okay, I'll get it typed up. I'll get it fixed. And she's like, that's fine, no problem. And I walk out there, and then I'm like, okay, I got to get this. So my mind's already going. Then she's still crying. I'm like, okay, let's compartmentalize that away. And then I'm like sitting there writing, like making a note. And Vivian's like, hey, did I get this math problem? I have no clue, honey. I don't just go over there, compartmentalize that over there. And I'm just sitting there writing. And then Jasmine comes in. I'm like, okay, I just need a moment. Just give me a moment so I can like not lose my shit.
I don't think our brains are wired for that. Like, I think that's part of the problem. And that's why you've seen like anxiety and stress and depression go up so much, because like we have the whole world in our hands at any given moment, on top of, like you just said, pure chaos going on at any given moment. Like you're getting pulled in, like you have work, you have your family, you have your spouse, you have your kids. Like I know I said family, and then I said, but they're all their own thing. Like then you have your kids' activities, we have our business. Like you're pulled in 100 different directions all day, and like I get to the point where like 2-3 o'clock. Luckily, I've been doing so much lately that it's not been like a thing. But like if I'm doing that at home all the time, I'll about 2 o'clock I'm done. Like I have to take a little siesta. And that could be 15 minutes to recharge, or I might wake up at 5. You never know. Like it could go either way. But like, I think it's because of that, like, and with what we're doing, you're on social media, you're trying to like research things. Like that's where I get a lot of my information is I'll scroll through Twitter. I'll get on AI when I have ideas or I have thoughts, and all like you can go down some wild rabbit holes of things that, and then you're like, holy shit, it's been an hour, I gotta like get back to reality. And then like I don't know how your day
back to reality. There goes gravity.
But like you do, and then you're like, well shit, I got dishes, I got laundry, I've got to go pick up the kids, I got to do, and you're like, fuck. And then I get over it, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't put the podcast out. Or then it's like you get the text, hey, I need this or I need that, and then your day just go, and then like by the time the day's over, you're just like, whoa. Like this is a lot.
It can go, it goes from like 1 to 100 really quick.
Yeah. And obviously kids do not aid in that situation at all.
They like to push the buttons.
Always. Yep. And then then they wait and try to smack the shit out of you while you're doing a podcast.
Yeah. That's dude, it's always your second. I have 3 kids, but Kai is not my biological child. It's that second one.
Yep.
I don't know. Like mind of her own, and not you. Yeah, you. And then she just does. Dude, she walks with the meat of her own drum, and she does not give an F about anything. And it's like, how do you parent this? It's just you do your best. And you're like, I hope you work out.
I think that's all of parenting. You just hope for the best, and you're just like constantly just holding on tight. Like, I hope I'm doing this right. Like, I mean, you can read everything you want, and you can like try to be as prepared as you can be. But like at the end of the day, I feel like we're all kind of doing the same thing. You're just like, it's every day different shit comes up, and you just deal with it to the best of your ability. Like, you can't really change the past, and you can't really like predict the future. You can try your best, but it doesn't always. So then like lately I've tried to just live in the present and deal with the shit day to day as it all comes to me. And like, I don't know, I used to like really hold on to things and like whatever, but now I've been able to just kind of like day to day, like, all right, let's see what today brings. Let's see what we're doing. Like rather than
I heard a quote today it was on TikTok. It was DDP. And he said, if you live in the past, you'll be depressed. If you live in the future, you're anxious all the time. He said, but if you live in the day, he goes, now you got to plan. You got to reminisce from time to time. You got to plan ahead, because if you live in the day, you will be happy.
Well, and you can, but I think too, the key is to have aspirations and goals. Like with this, if we didn't have goals and aspirations, we wouldn't continue to grow. Like where we're at now isn't where I see this in a year. Like I want this to be way different than what it is right now in a year. Like a year from now, I want to be able to look back on this conversation and be like, hey, look where we took this. Like that's the mindset I try to keep with everything, is that growth and that energy you put in day to day. You want to have the goals, you want to have the aspirations, but if you're spending all of your time thinking about this shit, you're not doing anything to put that into play. So if you're sitting back every day and going, boy, I hope we make it, but we don't put out any content, we don't put out any shows, how the fuck are we going to make it? Like what are we making it off of? Hopes and dreams? Like it's not off of our ability, it's off of sitting at home going, okay, someone's gonna like find us based off of nothing. Like that's not realistic. Like, and obviously what our content was a year and a half ago compared to where we're at today has drastically changed. And that's because you have that goal in mind, but you put that energy every day. And that's what I tried to start like honing in on every day, is like taking that energy and focusing it on that day to day and not stressing out going, okay, what can I get next? What's the next step? What's it going to be? Where is it going to come from? It's like, okay, I can't control it. So just whatever energy I can put into today to further my cause, whether it's for like my body. Okay, if I don't go to the gym, I did nothing today to like further that cause. So if I want to bitch about where I'm at or where my weight's at or whatever, well, dumbass, you didn't go to the gym. And you ate McDonald's or whatever it is. Yes.
What time do you have to be at wrestling?
Ooh, shit. Yeah, we probably ought to wrap this up. Thank you. I get on these tangents and I'm like, all right, fuck everything. Which I should be able to, we got plenty of time. I should be able to.
Okay. Well, we can wrap her up because I got basketball in 12 minutes and you got to go further. So.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Well, we will wrap this up and we are good sponsors. So we're good. We can just tell each other we love you and we can go.
All right. We're out of here. Keep pushing. Love you.
Love you.